Okay, here's the tools you're going to need to take the fan off. So basically made one piece where it can't fall off. You always want to verify which direction the threads are in the fan. You don't have to look it up. If you have the new pump, all you gotta do is look at the pump. Okay, this one's sealed up. What you want to do is look at the threads. So this is a righty tighty, lefty loosey. This same trick would have worked for any car, but some of them do have reverse threads on it. So down the nut, you want to heat that bad boy up a little bit. As you can see it spinning loose now. Tool will not work for these old stubborn ones that never been off. It's gonna be 2 bolts, 13 millimeter. Give it a little twist and flip up the fan and the shroud at the same time. You simply just want to put it up on there. Then you don't got to think about it no more. You just clamp this thing and lock it in the furthest position. See, wasn't that easy? That was a 13. I used to take that bracket off. Alright, so this is a 15. This is going to be your 13. Put a little crimping tool up on there, squeeze it, slide it back. Put a little crimping tool on it. These are your heater hoses, because your heater core. Slide back. Same process as the other one, lock it in. Slide it back and I'll go of it. I'll give it a little twist without tearing up the hose. You don't want to just do a hard twist, just little gradual ones till you feel that seal break. See, you can kind of hear it. Now it should just slide right off. Just remove this 8mm. Little short burst, because you don't know if these things get rusted back there. So you're going to want to slide this in the hole that you know it goes into. Do the same thing. A little short little twist. See for the seal break. Slide this back off. And take it out and put it in the hole you took it out of. Because they're all different lengths. Alright, so we're moving along, we're getting the bolts out, putting them in the right spot. Yep, 15. These are 13. Another hidden one right here. There's one right here in the middle on the bottom. And last but not least, you got this one right here. There you go. I'm gonna take it up in here. Since I'm not reusing this hose, I'm gonna cut it, but takes away the whole thought process of it. Because we got some prep work to do. We don't want to have to stress about this. So now we got the new one ready to rock. Let's go ahead and do our prep work. Alright, so if you've watched previous water pump videos I've done, you know I'm not a big fan of the whiz wheel. I believe it takes away the trueness of the service. I like to take a nice fresh razor blade and just do a little scrape, take some of this stuff off. This aluminum is very solid. You don't want to have a low spot. Give it a little low spray. Clean up a little bit. You want to repeat this process 3 times. I'm not going to go through the whole process. But it works. You're slowly just breaking down the little crud on it where there's no left. Razor blade spray, brush. But so this next process might be the most important process. I'm going to take off these gloves because they got dirt on them. Put your fresh pair of gloves on. Normally, if the gasket's loose, I'll pull it out and loop, and I'll put the sealant on the whole gasket. But these style that are real tight up in there like that, I leave them alone. But you take your right stuff. When you're done using them, you just cap them off. That only the tip will dry out. And then you just want to put little dabs on it, all around it. This is going to ensure that your water pump does not leak. It's an extra sealant. You got older aluminum that's going on that might have imperfections in it, little pits. Now you're going to want to just rub a layer around it. So we got a little excess, so we finished prepping our service, so we're gonna rub this stuff in. This is gonna ensure that it's filling in any little cracks and crevices. And he's kind of working back and forth. You can actually literally smoothing out and filling in the cracks. This little extra step right here will ensure that your water pump does not leak. I can promise you. If you skip this step, there's a good chance of a leak. The amount of work that's involved on doing a water pump, you don't want to second chance it. Oh, we're gonna clean this thing up. There's a little rust here, so let's stroke that up a little bit. That same right stuff I'm gonna use to fill in those little pits, because there's a bunch of pits in there. But I'm gonna do it after I install it, because I'm gonna put the hose on after I install it. We're gonna let that dry now. Take the thermostat, put a few dabs of this stuff on there. Let's rub this around. Let's go and put this up in here. New thermostat installation. Let's rub this stuff down here, fill in the pits. A little more. Alright, now let's go and take this. Look at these bolts there. Get one side closed. The other side. There's a couple extra cranks. Okay, so now we're ready to install the water pump. We're all set up and organized, so we know what bolts to use because we got them in the right spot. So you just want to get a couple started that are kind of easier to get to, I would say. So let's start. Top one right here. Here's my thread starter. I'm gonna start this other one over here. Whenever you do not tighten up any bolts, so you get all bolts started. We got all the bolts out of that, so we don't need this anymore. Let's get this out of the way. Okay, you don't want to hit impact on this one, so just I recommend just start getting kind of close. Don't tighten them up hard. Crisscross. Alright, now you got them all kind of snug. You're gonna want to take something like so. We got a good little bit of leverage. It's gonna be different length extensions if you're doing it with the radiator, I'm sure. But give it a snug. Just keep crossing like this. Get it about snug. 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 And now you want to go around a circle. Snug. Snug. But we just don't over tighten it. I usually do that 15 last. I'll switch over to 15 now. What I'm doing, kind of letting that gas kind of settle a minute before I do that final tightening. And now I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna take that breaker piece off. That way I got better feel. Cause I don't want to break any bolts. What I'm doing now, I'm just going around making sure there ain't a loose one. And putting those little quarters. But no, that one's nice and tight. That one's 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 nice and tight. I think this is about where we started at, so just make sure that one's tight. Now you want to go back over to the thermostat because it didn't have a lot of leverage. Make sure it was real tight, so now that it's mono, we can make sure. Yeah, it needs a no snug. Oh, that's nice and tight now. That's nice and tight now. Oh, cool. We can go ahead and put this hose back on. No longer need these. So, no longer need that. So now we just want to remove this. We're going to be reinstalling our bracket right here. Set that in place. I'm going to put the tensioner back on. Install the idler pulley. Got our bolt started and our nuts. These are all 13s. This is going to be a 15. Okay, so now we want to install our belt. Just simply pull up a belt diagram on Google. Just set it up like that so you can see it. Work smarter, not harder. There's a couple other repairs I'm gonna recommend to her. This is an older truck. I'm gonna tell her about replacing the idler pulleys, tensioner, and belt. Probably in the springtime. She's already done a tune-up and the alternator. She's staying up on this thing pretty good. And that's the installation of your water pump. So slip the hose on. Main thing is make sure it's all up on her, not cockeyed. You want to take your clamp and put it. See, in this one, you want to do it off to this side because you don't want that fan shroud to be hitting. Don't touch the ratchet on these once I get it up. And also you want to use good clamps. Right now I got those set like right where I want. I'm just gonna get my regular ratchet. You want them tight, but not too tight where you strip the thing out. So that's probably about right there. That was probably about right there. All right, now you're gonna want to install the fan assembly. So what I use, I just set this up there like that. Let's spray a little bit of nut, not a lot. Take this, slide it down about the same time. You want to start the fan clutch first. And now we got that started. We can go ahead and line these up. There's a little groove on each side. Let's go ahead and tighten down these cover bolts. We're going to keep on moving right along. We're going to reinstall this right here, which is a combo container. One of them has a coolant reservoir on it, the other one has a windshield washer reservoir. Just turn it like so. Got little grooves that fit down in. Comes over like here. Got 2 10mm to hold it in. pops on here like so. Don't forget to plug in your connectors. Push the little red tab down. Push that down. Push the little red tab down. Now you want to take your air box. Put the air box back in. Usually you'll get a little debris and stuff, just get a little love tap. Also, it helps to put a little lube where the little grommets will go in. Fish it up in there a little bit. You want to line up all your grommets. Slide it down in there. Now you're ready to install your air filter. Air box. That lock it in. Take your hose and slide that on, and lock in all your little tabs. Go ahead and tighten down the clamp. Start grabbing the excess tools that you don't need up here anymore. So put a little dab right here. Just fill in a little dips. There's no actual holes or anything. It's not in risk of being penetrated. We're going to be using two different size clamps, a smaller one for the front because it's got a little smaller shaft, and a bigger one for the rear. Alright, so this is the one that's going to go in there like so. So I had to get a smaller one right here. The bigger one, I'm going to make sure I get on the right angle. I'm going to face it up so I have easy access to get a socket on it. The other one I can get right to, so I'm not too worried about it. The reason why we put this on last because we won't be able to get that cover on. So that filled up in nice and snug. That filled up in nice and snug. Give it a few extra cranks, not too much. Nice and tight. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and install this Berber and then tighten up the fan clips, which we didn't do yet. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and spin the fan the rest of the way on. Once we got it on, we're going to tighten up the same way, because the natural force of the spin rotation is going to keep it tight. So we're just going to get a couple of good little smacks on there. Alright, she's good. Now it's the fun part, man. We get to introduce some antifreeze into the system for the first time. Well, it's a fun part as long as we don't have a leak. If you use good quality parts, you're not going to have a leak. Okay, so we put a full gallon of concentrate in there. Now we're going to put a gallon of water in there. And if it needs any more after that, we're going to put the rest concentrate. But this is a pretty big engine. It might take some more. I allotted myself 2 full gallons of concentrate on the budget and the job. This is a good time to kind of look around, make sure you didn't leave any tools anywhere. Think about anything that you might have forgotten to tighten up. I think we pretty much got everything covered. Okay, now it's time to fire this old girl up. We're gonna start it up, put the heat on full blast. Crack the window just so we don't accidentally lock keys in there or something. Make sure the belt's staying on there. That's good now. We'll be back shortly after we run it for a little while. Our goal is we're gonna let these little air bubbles just come up. Let it come up to temperature. And then we're gonna let it thermostat open up. Make sure we got good heat. Then we're gonna cut the heat off and run it for a little while, and then we're gonna be good to go. Then we're gonna clean her up. Okay, we've been letting this thing run for about 25 minutes. While you're letting it burp out, that's a good time to go ahead and clean your tools up. I got 90% of my tools cleaned up. I got a few more things to button up, some stuff to throw away. I got all my trash in one area. I try not to waste any time while I'm doing something. I've been letting the heat run. Let's go in here and check, see if the heat's working. Okay, we got excellent heat. So now that we know we got the heat working, it's a good time to go ahead and just turn it off. We're gonna give it a little extra. A little extra rev. Let's do another temperature check. We revved it up to about 1500 RPMs to get it going a little bit more. Now we're getting a real strong number. I was getting 175 a minute ago. So it completed its first cycle where it opened out shutting again. So we're good to go. We can go ahead and cut the car off and let it cool down. As you can see, the thermostat opened up all the way, so the fluid level dropped. So we're gonna go ahead. Remember, we put 1 gallon of concentrate, 1 gallon of water, so we're going to top off the rest with concentrate. And so now, that's good. We make sure our reservoir is filled up enough. This is good to go. The spill oil, just give it a little clean. Snap this lid back down on there. Alright, so as you can see, we're all done and cleaned up. The trick to every successful job is to plan ahead of time. Always use good quality parts. Make sure you have the correct tools. Always, if you're another mechanic doing this for a customer, give them more than they expect. If you have the opportunity in a location where you can clean up the engine with a pressure washer and shine it up, man, you'd be surprised how happy they will be, because we both want the same thing, the mechanic and the customer. You know, the customer wants a good mechanic and the mechanic wants a good customer, so it's a relationship. Even for the do-it-yourselfer, same thing. Give your car more than what it expects. The car likes to be clean. I have found over time that a clean engine runs good. It runs a little bit better. So, last but not least, we're going to close this off. Every successful radiator job ends with a good, solid, reliable radiator cap. It's got a rubber seal on it. It dry rots. You don't want to get a comeback or have to have an issue just because of a radiator cap. Voila! Beautiful job, beautiful truck. I really enjoyed this one. Hey, I just want to give a special thanks for taking the time to watch my video. I hope it helped you. I hope you paid attention to some of the tricks that I did, especially the one on the fan. That's a really good trick for an older truck like this. They really get stuck. The rust gets stuck and the tool just don't take it off. Like always, I really appreciate my followers, my subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Please give me any comments, any different ideas that you might have tried something a different way or what your result was. I always like to communicate if it's possible. And I do like the dies. They're pretty special to me. I've owned one before, but I like all cars. It doesn't matter what it is. If you have a special video you would like me to make, just let me know in the comment section. Have a blessed day.